WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. And today I have something from Heaven's Door, Single Barrel Bourbon. And this is a Germany exclusive selection for Schlumberger. Schlumberger is our importer over here for Heaven's Door. All right, so what I have here is I have cask number 11893. Bottle number 80, which really doesn't make any difference whatsoever. And these bottles cost about 90 euros over here. So what do I have? I have here, whoops, on this side, I have here 80% corn, 10% rye, 10% malted barley. Distilled in Tennessee, warehouse W6. Rick level is B, for all I know. Kelvin cooperage made the cask, char number 4, and it was aged for 4 years. So it says here, Distiller Select. What is that? Our annual single barrel bourbon limited allocation is comprised both of our own distilled barrels. How can they distill their own barrels at Heaven's Doors when the building hasn't even been built yet? All right, and sourced from partnering whiskey makers. So maybe this is something about the future here. Now, if you do go to heavensdoor.com and you /single-barrel, you actually find out that they had for this release 145 barrels that they did with their partners. They used 3 different distilleries in Tennessee and Indiana. They had 2 different cooperage partners, Kelvin and International Save Company, ISC, and they used ricked warehouses, single-story warehouses, and bricked warehouses, and everything's between 108 proof and 127 proof. All right, over here, let me pour this in here. Now, Bob Dylan, of course, is the person behind this brand together with a few other people, but I'll talk about them in a moment. So here we have 75% corn, we have 21% rye, which sounds very interesting, and only 4% barley. Tennessee, warehouse number G, and we have the Rick is F2-37-C. No idea what that means. And we have the cooperage ISC, and we have a char number 3, and this was aged for also 4 years. So for those of you that want to take a really look here, it should focus. Yep, very, very nice. So, and I did not show anyone this one either, so this should also now focus. Yep. Okay. Now, I'm just going to read very briefly here what we have. Heaven's Door Single Cask Schlumberger Selection is from the Heaven's Door Spirits from Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee. And if you actually go to the website here of heavensdoor.com and you click on the distillery, it says here, you have a nice little architect's rendering of the building, what it should look like. And it says here, Tennessee is hallowed ground for American music and whiskey. And soon, downtown Nashville will be home to our distillery and brand center, housed in a 160-year-old church. I've been hearing this story now for 2, if not 3 years. I will be in Nashville in June, and I'm going to go see if I can find the site and actually talk to somebody there about what's going on. All right, so of course Bob Dylan's song "Knocking on Heaven's Door" gave us this the name of the distillery. I'm still surprised Heaven Hill has not filed a lawsuit, because Heaven Hill and Heaven's Door do sound somewhat a little bit alike. Bob Dylan basically said, hey, I want to create a brand, and he started working together with the business partner Mark Bushala, who is the CEO of Spirits Investment Partners. All right, and this one, 56.6, correct? And this one over here, we have a little bit higher, which is 58.45. All right, so let's nose them, let's try them, let's rank them. The first thing I get is tiny, tiny little bit of Fred Flintstone vitamins, I think. And then I get those grape flavored Fred Flintstone vitamins. So that's what I get over here. Over here, I get some rye goodness. I like higher rye mash bills. I like rye whiskey in general. Very, very nice. So if I were to pick the two of these just in the nose, I would be going over here for our barrel number 25. All right, our char 3. Let's call these char 3 and char 4. Maybe that's the difference. Independent Stave Company, Kelvin Cooperage. Cheers. On both of these, I'm going to get heat. On both of these, I'm going to get the 4-year-old Cask strength barrel proof bomb. And there's some heat there. But I also get a little bit caramel, and what I hate, and I actually get here, is a little bit of a maple syrup moment. I hate people, oh, I get maple syrup. It's like, really? I hardly ever get maple syrup. I got maple syrup. All right. This has a maple syrup goodness, a cherry grape sweetness. I really, really like this. I'm going to dilute it down to about 50%. And we will come back to it. Good, cleanse my palate. Will you be able to buy these in America? No, this is a German exclusive, rare and exotic. But will you be able to buy one of the 184 other offerings? Probably yes. Go to your local liquor store and ask about maybe a store pick. All right, 145 bottles were offered. And they gave their international distributors a barrel as well. Yeah, not bottle, barrels. All right. So, our char number 3 and our ISC. That hits me with a little bit more of a alcohol boom. I like this as well. They sent over 2 fairly good barrels to Germany. Thank you. A friend of mine, we in Germany have just started, basically, at least in our groups, to actually buy bottles in America and have them shipped over here to Germany. I've mentioned that in videos before. So one of my friends actually said, oh, Jason, here's a single barrel, exactly the same thing here in America. Hey, what do you think? I was like, hey, go for it. A single barrel as a start pick is always great. And then basically, after he placed his order, 3 days later, we got a newsletter here from the distributor. We now have 2 single barrels in Germany. It was like, oh, okay, now we can compare 3 different things if we really wanted to there. Nice. A little bit more heat. A little bit more heat. All right, so a little bit more of a ginger type of white pepper moment going on there. All right, going back here now to 50% with water, around. Pecan pie, a little bit of maple syrup, caramel goodness, grape cherry moment. A lot of wood, but not too much. That char 4 did a good job. Very nicely done. This is a B- whiskey. Well done. 90 euros for the bottle. Translates to, I don't know, $110 at the moment for a store pick from Heaven's Door as a single barrel. I think that's a little bit too much. I'm going to give it a D+ for a value for money here. Over here, the same thing, same price. Got a little bit more of an aggressive bite, a little bit of that white pepper at the end. This has more depth, more character, more complexity. This is a very straightforward high rye bourbon. For some reason, I like this more. On the paper, I would have bet money that I like this one better. But in reality, I like this one better. That's the thing. So this is, as I said, a B minus, and this is a B minus minus C plus. Value for money, exactly the same thing, D plus. Now, who should be going out there buying Heaven's Door single barrel cask strength whiskeys? Now, imagine you've tried our Knob Creek 12-year-old, our Knob Creek 9-year-old, our Bookers, our Elijah Craigs. Maybe you've even had a Stag or Stag Junior glass before. Maybe you've seen or touched a bottle BTAG. Maybe your friend has actually poured you, as a moment of pity, a tiny little bit from his old bottle of Pappy. And then you're just like, I've tried most of the stuff out there. I've had the Noah Mills, I've had this, I've had that. I have at home, I have all the different wild turkeys. I have had a lot of bourbon. And now I want something a little bit different. Bam, this is your bottle. Go for it. Buy it. Enjoy it. Seek it. And hunt it and cherish it and share it with friends. Cherish and sharing it. Say that 3 times fast. Excellent. If you're new to bourbon, this is a skip. I'll come back to it in 2 to 3 years. Get to know other stuff. Buy yourself a bottle of Wild Turkey 101. Buy yourself a bottle of Russell Reserves. Buy yourself a bottle of Rare Breed. Buy yourself a bottle of Knob Creek 9-year-old, 12-year-old, and work your way up to that moment where you can appreciate what this actually offers us. Now, maybe someone out there actually knows what Tennessee distillery uses a mash bill of 75-21 for. Maybe someone out there has found or knows the information of what distillery in Tennessee uses then 80-10-10. Please write that down in the chat. There's a lot of new distilleries that I have not yet had a contact with. Over here in Germany from Tennessee, basically we have had Jack Daniels, yay, of course. We have had Dickel, and we have had maybe a little bit of Corsair. And okay, there was the Benjamin, what was it, Prickle or whatever. We've had a few bottles, but I haven't seen them for like 4 years or so. And that's about it for our entire range of Tennessee whiskey so far. I've never seen anything from Chattanooga. I've never seen something from all these other new distilleries that have popped up and are doing great, great things. And so I am a little bit illiterate of the of the Tennessee whiskey world, as I apparently should be a little bit more interesting and interested. All right, so question of the day: what is your favorite Tennessee whiskey? Now, here, if you can tell me the mash bills, I would be so glad. But for the rest of us, what is your favorite Tennessee whiskey? Can be from any of the different distilleries out there. Thank you very much for liking, sharing, subscribing, telling others, and also commenting. Would make my day to actually hear from you. All the best, Whiskey Jason. Bye-bye.